You know that thing that's in you, like no matter how much you meditate, how much you do the healing, how much you, there's sometimes this feeling that surfaces of hopelessness or sadness or not doom, but like, you know that feeling? It's just like everybody has it. Everybody has it. There's not one single human being that doesn't have it. And I'll tell you how I know that. Even the most happiest is like, no, I'm happy, everything is good. And yeah, everything could be perfect in your life, and you could literally be living in the middle of the forest and meditating all day and picking your berries and picking your food and do that. And then there'll be a random moment that you're like, what the fuck? Like, you got, I can't even describe. It's this, yes, like a grieving, but it's not grieving the loss of our past selves, but it could be a little bit. Actually, that could be included. But I went like, or we're missing, there's some, it's like you're like this, like, so last week I felt it strong. Okay. And yeah, there's stuff going on in my life, but things are going pretty well and I'm pretty happy and I have a lot of inner peace and all this, but it fucking showed up. And listen how funny this is. So I'm downstairs and I went like, fuck, get the fuck out of me. That's what I said. I go, get the fuck out. Get out. Stop. I was screaming at this like sad. I was like, you're why are you there? Get the fuck out. So my dad comes and he like knocks on my door. He comes downstairs and he's like, are you having a fight with your boyfriend? And I was like, no. He's like, and I started laughing and he's like, you said get the fuck out. I was like, no. And I started laughing and I was like, there's a feeling in me. And I was like, I don't want this feeling today. Everything is really fucking good in my life. But what is happening? And I fucking meditate like 2-3 hours a day. What the fuck is this? You know? So and he started laughing. He went, right. I'll leave you with yourself. And he walked upstairs and he was like, anyway. So here's the thing. This morning, and I've had this feeling and it pops up like it'll go away and I'm like in a great mood and like I don't have it right now. I don't have it. But I'm telling you guys based on a memory because I had it before. Now hear me out. This morning, I was meditating. I told you I sat in the silence. And it showed up. This hopeless grief of like depth of sadness. And I'm like, I don't need you anymore. Listen, it's going to take a turn. It's not what you think it is. I go, I don't need you anymore. I'm okay now. Like I'm not sick. I don't need you anymore. And in my meditation, it was like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everybody needs it. Everybody has it. Everybody needs it. Because this is what makes you human. So this is, you don't like that feeling. It's not good. But it keeps you grounded. It keeps you lower. It keeps you, and it's okay. So I was like, well, what do I do with it? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just random. And if I cannot have it for months and then just like, what is this? You know, like, and it's the human, it's humanity, it's the energy, it's something, it's okay. And you're going to carry this through this life. And this is what you're going to use to do all. And then all of a sudden, I started having these flashes of memories of times that I hurt people. It was weird. Like random times I lied, I hurt people, or I said things that weren't nice, or I tried to like, you know, like younger things that I went, I was getting all these flashes. And I was like, is this my karma? Is this karma that I'm holding on? And it was like, no, it's not karma. But all those things, all that sadness is what you're going to feel to help yourself and help. This is how you know love. Without this, you don't know health. Without this, you don't know happiness. And without this, you don't know love. This is the contrast. So without that feeling, I wouldn't know the feeling. I wouldn't enjoy it as much. I'd be like, do you know what I mean? It would be too balanced, like neutral. Hey, hi, Tanya, how's it going? I'm very good. How are you? Like I'd be a robot. So it's like that. I have to experience the contrast because I get really hyped up. I get really hyper and I'm full of emotion and I get really like, I love people like so much, guys. You don't even, I'm like, I love everybody. Like I get super in love with people. I get like very highs, but it was like in my meditation, I knew that this sadness, that pops up, and it was fucked up because Ricky, thank you, Tanya. But it's fucked up because I was like, oh my gosh, when I feel this depth of despair and sadness, of like grief of something that I don't know. Thank you, Sin. Like that grief, the major grief that I'm like, is this depression? Like no, it's not depression. This is the feeling. What makes me feel the contrast. That's just the contrasting feeling. So I have to give that a moment to settle in. So when I'm feeling that, I'm like, it's okay. And it's weird because the it's okay was really resonating with me today. I was like, it's okay. That, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? What's the point? Like that random, like, I can't even explain what it is. I have read it. I don't know why I screamed that. I have read it. That was very intense. I was living the contrast. Yeah. Now I am very good at feeling sadness. I'm very good at feeling anger. Like my emotions are very balanced. But this is different. This is not sadness. This is not, hold on, I gotta put that. This is not sadness. This is like, and I don't know what it is. It could be that we're missing your past life. You're missing or you're missing the planet. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people could think that thing, but I think this is what makes us experience contrast. Cause I've talked to people and when you get like that, it's like, you don't know what to do with that fucked up feeling of, like it's beyond sadness, but it's like and I'm very connected to my emotions. For those of you who don't know me, I had like 6 medical surgeries, kidney transplant. Kidney transplant was like the biggest one, but I also had another, like I just sick, physically sick since I'm little, and massive depression. Like, what's the point of life? I don't want to live. My whole life switch. Like, my whole life just went, and every day, like, sometimes I'm sad. You know, like, some things happen with my family and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm angry. But now I'm able to process them with a balance. Like, when I'm sad, I'm like, I let myself be sad. It's like, no matter what, if I'm sad, angry, guilt, this, that, all those feelings, when I feel them, I feel like such an inner peace. Even when I'm sad, I have peace. And it wasn't the surgery that made me find peace. Actually, that made me find more sadness. Like when I got surgery and stuff like that. It was, I think when I started meditating regularly, because I realized that I don't want to feel like this anymore. So yeah, it's not even blissful. It's not blissful because I still get angry. Like I get fucking angry and that's not blissful. But when I'm angry, immediately after the anger, I feel peace. It's just inner peace. And no, I didn't find it through God or through that. I didn't find it through that. It's more of an inner peace that I found. I found a peace within myself that's like it's just, I can feel every emotion. If I'm sad, if I'm angry, I get overwhelmed. I'm like, what the fuck, da, da, da. And I'm like, it's okay. and I validate myself. And listen, if you guys want to know how everything I did it, I just posted videos yesterday. No, so I don't, I'm not, I have my own spirituality, and I don't know, depends on what you think God is for you, but there is a peace that I found, just this inner peace. Anyway, but there is something that's beyond that. Like that. What the fuck is that? Now, if you're connected with your emotions, you know what I mean. If you're somebody that does not go into their feelings, you won't understand what I mean. But I'm extremely aware of my feelings. So most people that feel they have a glass of wine, they go out with their friends, they go on social media, they go externally as soon as they start to feel and there's no reason. Life can be going really well, like really well. You know what I mean? Like things are flowing, everything is kind of flowing in my life right now. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. But things are kind of like, the videos kind of helped a lot. But everything, it was like people around me, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of abundance, there's a lot of stuff. And then I'll just be sitting there and then some people didn't, social media, you know. And I started doing that. I was doing a TikTok. TikTok makes you feel better. TikTok always makes you feel better. You go on and you watch people's lives and you go and you're just like, I'm going to get away from this fucking weird feeling that I don't want to feel. But what I do is I sit with it. And I'm like, fuck, what is this? So when I sat with it last week, I was like, get the fuck out of me. Like, what is this sadness? Like, get out of here. But now I realize that's what makes me feel the highs. I need to feel that level of low sometimes because this is what I think of, like, when I hear like the sadness. I've had meditations that I didn't try to manifest anything. I've had visions. And I remember the first time I was sitting down on this gray couch, very specific, and I was sitting down and my head went like this in my meditation. And I went into like a trance and I had images, and I'm on stage and I'm crying and I'm doing these dancing and everybody in the crowd has blindfolds and we're doing this like, it was really strange. And I was crying of joy. And I realized I cannot live that so much happiness that you're crying of joy if you do not live the crying of sadness. Do you understand that depth of like, we cannot experience this if we don't have this. I just saw people. There wasn't specific, but I saw a bunch of people. Yeah, thank you, Polyfam. Do you think other people like Sadhguru experience this feeling? I don't know. That'd be a good question to ask people. That'd be a good question to ask. And I think it's when we stop judging those feelings. You know when we don't want those feelings? Yes, no light without darkness. But this was really dark. But I realized, I was like, oh my God, I think some people, if you don't feel the really, really, really dark feelings, you won't know the really, really high feelings. I want the really, really high feelings. That's the type, I am very, like, since I'm little, I've been like, but I think I have to. Like, I do, like, on a daily basis, I like the balance of emotions. I never go high and low and high and low. I used to do that. I can't do that every day. It's fucking exhausting. You get a headache and you get physically sick. Sounds like demonic possession. I love when people come on and say, Tanya, the devil's in you. Right. That's why I have so much love in my heart. I think the devil's trying to fool me and just, right? Read about God. Oh, there's a lot of Christians on my life today. So I was raised Christian in the Catholic Church. I know, sorry. So I'm very aware. I'm very, very familiar with that. Although I didn't take that route as an adult, like the church route and the religious route, I haven't continued on that. I have continued a spiritual journey, just not the conventional religious things like that, which you know, teach his own. I think as long as you do your best to like live with a lot of love and do your best to have your beliefs. I think all beliefs are beautiful as long as you're not an asshole. Right? I feel like that should be the standard I think in all religions or all spiritualities or all beliefs, because some people it's not religion, some people just have like random beliefs and thoughts and whatever. I think it should just be like the basis of everyone is don't be an asshole. Wouldn't that be nice? Like you open up all these I don't think that's a good word. Maybe we could switch up the word, but you have a faith or you have something. I welcome if like you have a faith or you have something. I'm not a person to tell you, don't believe that. It's wrong. Never. That doesn't make sense to me. Because what is right for you is right for you. Doesn't make sense where you say, well, it's wrong. But if you come on here and you start telling somebody else, well, you're wrong for feeling what you feel, I have very good moderators that will go click, click, block. Because it's a safe space here and you could, whatever is best for you and what you follow in your heart, and you wake up every day and you are like, okay, Jesus is the way, the Holy Spirit, or you're like, listen, my boyfriend practiced Hinduism. So they have prayers and they use the beads and the malas, and that's their way. I have my own way. So we all each have our own way. So as long as what makes you happy, what brings you happiness, what brings you love, to me, that's what's important. Could you talk more about how you initially got into meditation? I could tell you the specific time I got it. You guys want to know exactly specifically what happened to me when I got into meditation? I had a kidney transplant. My daughter was 2 years old. Okay, so I got a kidney transplant. No, I got a kidney transplant the year before. So when my daughter was 1, I had the transplant. And then 3 months after my transplant, I had a appendicitis or something like that. It was about to blow, whatever. And the transplant's here. The hell is this on my shirt? Oh, it's the fluff. My daughter's father, because him and I, it was not working. And I was in a relationship, okay? I got into a relationship. I had left my daughter's father because him and I, it was not working at all. Really great person, amazing dad. But it was not working at the time. I guess there was too much stuff going. So he and I split up, and I got into a fucking toxic relationship after that. And I guess I didn't want to be alone or something. Toxic, guys. And I thought it was my twin flame. You know, people talk about twin flames. I thought it was a twin flame. And I'm talking, hold on. I'm not going to tell you my age, but I was young, and my daughter is now 17. And she was 2. Just saying, this was quite some time ago. And there was about maybe 4 videos on YouTube about twin flames. I don't think he was a narcissist. I think he was just toxic. But I don't like that. He didn't check off the narcissist traits, but maybe could be, but I don't think so. Okay. So I'm not going to label someone based off memory and stuff like that. Doesn't make sense. Or says Tanya, I'm living with this guy. Point is, my sister says, Tanya, I'm living with this guy whose parents are shaman. Like my roommate, his parents are shaman. They from Mexico, and he does this thing called Reiki. And I'm like, Reiki. Now remember, this is not 2022. This is many years ago. So I'm lying on this bed. I get to my sister's house, and he's like, you're going to lie on, not the bed. It was like a table in the middle of it. And he goes, we're going to lie down. Yeah. In 2007. Thanks, Char. So I'm lying on this table. I kid you not. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this stuff? I had no clue about spirituality, about stuff. And the relationship that I was in, he was into spiritual stuff, and he was talking about like twin flames. He's like, we're twin flames. And he was like, you know what everybody's going through right now? Of like we live in the Matrix and like all the everything that's coming out now. 2007, he was talking about this. He was like, Tanya, we're from this thing. And I remember sitting on the couch and going, and I was judging him because I wasn't ready to wake up. And this was when my daughter was, about 2 years old, 2007. So I was like, but then like I started watching stuff and I was like, hi, Aber. So I was like, So I'm lying on this, and this guy, he's like 19 years old, this kid, 19 years old. And he's doing this thing on me. And I didn't know about energy, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know. And guys, you can't find it on the internet. 2007, that's when Facebook first started. It started in what, 2005? Just giving you an example, okay? Internet was like, you have the interweb, that's how we used to talk. So you can't find this shit. So I'm lying and I'm trying to Google Reiki. I couldn't find what the fuck Reiki was. So going like this, I'll explain about the twin flame stuff after. But so he's going like this, and I'm like, I start laughing. Like I start laughing because he's like, and my eyes are closed, but I can feel it. And I'm laughing, and I start laughing, and he stops and he's saying, you have a lot of pain in you. You have a lot of pain and a lot of stuff. And he was talking about the energy, the male and female energy that's unbalanced in me. And I was like, okay, I don't know what he was talking about. I have chocolate on my shirt. Okay. And all of a sudden, he does this thing on my stomach like this. You know when you're swimming in the pool and somebody swims beside you and you feel the wave of energy, like you feel the water going against your legs, or like you can feel when somebody's beside you. If you're in a pool and somebody swims beside you, you can feel the water movement. And I started feeling that. And I went, whoa. And he wasn't touching me. And he was doing this. And I went, holy shit. There's a lot stored here. And he started talking about, and he's like, oh, you have a lot of issues, like all in your stomach. And I'm like, yeah, I had a transplant, and I had like full of surgeries. But he's like, oh, there's a lot stored here. And he started talking about chakras and energy. And I was like, what is he talking about? Like, no clue. But he said he got this from, so he told me, he's like, Tanya, you need to meditate. And he stopped me and he's like, you need to meditate. And I was like, think about 2007 meditation. I was like, I can't quiet my mind. He's like, no. Just like try to find a way to meditate. And so he gave me meditation CDs, guys, CDs. So it was like, what's her name? Louise Hay. Gave me like a Louise Hay meditation in the morning and this and that. And he's like, but if you can, don't use music, and put some sort of sound and focus your energy and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, the fuck, is it fine? So that night I'm sitting down and I remember the fan, I had a ceiling fan in my bedroom, and we lived in this tiny little apartment, my daughter and I hear like, and I just want to remind you guys, back then I had surgeries. I was living alone with my daughter. I was a single mom living alone with my daughter. And I just had surgeries and stuff like that. And I was still working like full time, like too much, zero balance, emotions all over the place. But I wasn't, when I was younger, I was suicidal, but I was not suicidal at this point because my daughter was born, and I would never consider, like after my daughter was born, it was like out of question. I'm never going to think that. Like I remember listening to the ceiling fan and I'm like, what? I can't meditate. But he told me, he's like, Tanya, two things. He told me two things that day. Oh, and he did some tarot card reading when I went. I just got a memory. I don't know if it was the same day or within the week or whatever, because I was going to see my sister all the time. So I would see this guy and he did these tarot card reading. It might have been a different day. But he told me two things that stuck with me till this day. And I may trigger people on this live. I may trigger people of what but because I kept that in my head, I kept that from my 20s to now. Two things he told me. Number one, meditation. If you are not, he goes, I meditate since I'm little, so it's easy for me. Just like you brush your teeth since you're little. So if you can brush your teeth, though, every time I tell you guys that on my videos, if you can brush your teeth every day, you can meditate every day for 5 minutes. He's like, just do it. Consistency. And when he told me that, it like ingrained into my head, and I was like, okay, I got to do it. So I said, at least I'll meditate like 3 times a week or something to start off. The second thing he told me, he says, He's like, this is an ancient wisdom. Don't believe people who tell you your future. He's like, this is an ancient wisdom that I got from my mother, from the mother and the father and everything. He's like, don't believe people who will tell you your future. And I just want to let you know how fucked up this is, because Inception, the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio, that says you go into the brain and they incept an idea and you manifest your reality. He told me, he's like, we manifest our realities. So if somebody tells you your future, they know about the law of attraction. They know about manipulation. They know about inception. They're going to incept an idea in your mind and you will create that reality because you believe it. So as a tarot card reader, we can see past things that you've been through. We can see the present moment, but nobody can see the future. Nobody can see the future because there are infinite potentials of reality. A gust of wind or a butterfly could flutter and change the whole course of your life. So you create your future at every moment. Yes, it is deception when somebody tells you that. And what pissed me off is that I'm hearing all over TikTok, they're like, January is going to be a big shift and there's going to be some negative energy in January. I'm like, what are people saying? How do you know? And this guy, because he was 19 years old when he told me this. And good tarot card reader won't say, I see your future. Exactly, Stormy. They will not say that. A tarot card reader to tell you your future, you're literally going, can you create my reality for me? That's what you're doing. You cannot read somebody's future because I strongly believe it, that you cannot read somebody's future. Because you are incepting, like the movie Inception. You are going into their subconscious, or when people get hypnotized, you're going into their subconscious, you're placing an idea, and then this person goes, oh my God, they said I was going to get a ticket, and now I got a ticket. I'm like, yeah, you manifested that shit because you believe. We attract what we believe to our core. That's the law of attraction, the law of assumption, right? I do believe in past lives. The reason I believe in past lives is because in Virginia, I think, that studies thousands of children. That kind of spiritual journey and stuff like that, who remember a past life. And I think I started believing it when my daughter was 3 years old, I think, or 4. Somebody died. Somebody passed away. And she was seeing, she goes, Mom, look, I see sparkles. I see things. Look. They're so, oh my God. And we didn't know the person passed away at the exact moment she said this. And then I was sitting with her and she was sitting there and she looked at me. And I remember that exact moment. She goes, Mom, I'm so happy I picked you. I'm so happy. I made a good decision to pick you when I came here. And I was like, she was like 4 years old. I was like, you picked me? And it was cool because I had only started that kind of spiritual journey and stuff like that. So I went I didn't believe in spirituality. I was born and raised in the Christian Catholic Church. My mom wasn't a churchgoer too much, but her family was. And my mom has 10 brothers and sisters. Just saying, my mom has a big family. I have 46 cousins on one side. The criticism that I get from my family. And I know all the prayers, I know all the stuff, and I went to church and I hated it. I have never felt so judged. Now, if the church works for you and when you walk into a church, you feel love and you feel connection, that's beautiful. Okay? But when I walked into the church, I felt judged, criticized, condemned for some people. And I know some people who go to church and they're like, this is amazing for me. I feel so good. I feel connected. And I'm like, that's beautiful. I don't have that, but that's beautiful that you have that. So whatever you find connection with, I really, really found it in there. I think is important that you go with that. And I found a lot of connection. I guess you can say God or whatever it is, but I don't know what you want to call it. I call it universal energy. I found that universal energy. I found it in me, in my meditation. To you guys. I swear I was meditating today and everything I was seeing was the kaleidoscope things that you see. And I was meditating and I'm like, I don't even need to do drugs. That's what I was saying. While I'm meditating, I'm like, This is so cool. I don't need to do drugs. Who needs drugs when you have meditation? I'm full blown, like I'm seeing like, whew, and then this thing fly, and I'm going like this, like in my head, I'm like, what am I seeing? What is my brain showing me? What is this? Is this universe? And all of a sudden I'm flying through, stars are coming, and I'm like, oh my God. And I feel so much love. And I think about you guys, and I know some of you don't believe it, and I really don't give a shit if you don't believe me, but I really think about everybody across the world. And sometimes when I feel like I'm flying in my meditations, I'm like, oh my God, I wonder who lives here. I wonder who of my friends on TikTok or everything lives around. I'm like, sending you guys love. And I'm like flying over stuff. Who needs drugs? Who needs drugs? Do you have any meditation recommendations? I don't know where to start. Tiny Beauty Coach. No. So I do have a YouTube page, guys, that I do guided meditations. But my meditations would trigger you. You have to go on YouTube and pick which one you like, because you could do, let's say, my meditation, and then my voice may trigger you. Because I remember I couldn't do women's voice meditation. The only woman's voice meditation I could do was what's it called? Louise Hay. I think it was the grandma, like she had that raspy grandma voice, and it was comforting to me. So, and I loved her meditations, but the sound.
I am space.
I don't know why.
I am the sun.
It's called?
I am the directions.
I love this one. If you guys want to know, it doesn't say. Deepak Chopra. If you guys want to know, consciousness. Physical shit, or do some shit like really fuck. I know that a lot of people don't like Joe Dispenza. And some people think he's toxic and he's dangerous. A lot of people say that. And you have the right to feel that way if you think Joe Dispenza is dangerous. I personally have not been in danger from Joe Dispenza. Now, if he physically would come and attack me, or do some physical shit, or do some shit like really fuck, and then I would think, okay. So some people think that of him. That's okay if you guys want to think that. But I think if he didn't personally hurt you, I think dangerous is a very strong word. But I love Joe Dispenza meditations because his voice is really annoying. His voice is triggering. It's annoying. Can you become a war? And you're like, what the fuck is this? And I love that because my goal back in the day to meditate was like just to be at peace. Irritated. I don't want to be irritated anymore. I don't want that when I'm walking and, oh shit. I was going to do here. Zip. No, sorry guys. It's not that kind of life. Okay. So if I get caught, like if my sleeve gets like this and gets caught and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You know that feeling? You know that feeling that like sometimes something gets caught, you're walking and your foot, and then you trip and you're like, fuck. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? I need to master, like if I'm sitting there and they're chewing and I'm like, why are they chewing so loud? Why are they, you know, you're sitting beside somebody and they're breathing really loud and you're like, and you get super triggered. I'm like that. I have I get triggered by smells. Like if something smells, the slurping, yeah. But me, it's the smells. Sounds, not as much. Me, it's the smells. Like if I smell something, I'm like, oh my God, why is that? And I'm like, so my point is to master, if I can get triggered by Joe Dispenza's voice, can you become aware? And he's like, in. I can say it. Space. You're like, fuck, it takes him 5 minutes to go. Can you become in? And it's just like a long pause. And you're like, space, say it, space. And the fact that I get annoyed, it sounds terrible, but the fact that I get annoyed, I like that because I'm sitting in a blanket and I'm cozy. And I'm like, in space, just say it's in space. And it, because that, I get like, so now I'm starting to get used to that annoyance, and I notice myself that I'm not annoyed as much. Like things happen and I'm like if something smells, I'm like, ugh. But I'm not, I'm mastering patience. And I'll show you guys. There's a few. Listen, this is Joe Dispenza. Just
sit up.
Straighten your spine. I think that's the one.
Straighten your spine.
And you're like, it's really intense.
Eyes closed.
You know what's funny? There's a meme going around that when you're lying down and you're listening to Joe Dispenza's meditation, he goes, sit up like an abundant being. And you're like, I'm lying down. Am I not abundant if I lie down? And you know what? I love this quote. It says, if you want to know if you're enlightened, spend a week with your family. If you want to know if you are completely enlightened and you are beyond the physical body, if you believe you are beyond the physical body, that you're not just human, but you're beyond it, spend a week with your family. Like you're real, like your whole family. Just sit there for the whole week. And you realize, I am so human. No, thank you, hard pass. We're like, I am so human. I am so human. And I realized that I was like, so what happened is because I was 3D, like because I was like, going to church made me not spiritual. I was like, fuck spirituality. If spiritual shit makes you believe that you are a bad person, fuck spirituality. So I lost complete concept of spiritual self. I had no idea about our soul, our consciousness, none of that. God, the angel, fuck that. I didn't believe in any of that stuff because I was so traumatized. Like, it's like religious made me not spiritual. Because I was like, I don't like spiritual. It's not cool. It's not nice. And then I found spirituality, and then I went fucking full spirituality. Like instead of just going like, oh, balance, I went full blown, not spiritual, like religious, then not spiritual, and then too spiritual. Because I was meditating, I was like crazy, like I'm a spiritual being living a human experience. And then I forgot about the human experience. I totally forgot about it. And then now what I'm doing online, what I'm doing online is I'm teaching people how to navigate yes, we're spiritual beings, we all are, but how do we navigate the human experience? So because I did all this, and I go, there's a reason why. I know it sounds fucked up, but I think the reason I went through all this fucking bullshit in 2007, 2008, and then 2011 was another fucking awakening of whatever. And it was crazy. You know why? I don't believe in twin flames anymore. I used to believe in twin flames. I'll tell you why I don't believe it. And if you believe it, that's okay. If that's your journey, that's okay. But I'll tell you why I didn't believe it. So I started believing in twin flames because somebody on YouTube started talking about it. The twin flame, I forgot the name. It was like this couple and they were twin flame like experts, and they were putting random videos on YouTube. And my boyfriend's like, I think we're twin flames because look, we're so toxic together. And I was like, yeah. You must be my twin flame. We must be separated. One consciousness divided in two. We must be that because we're toxic and we bring out the toxic shit in each other. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, early 20s. That's why I'm like twin flames, guys, really? So it's like they bring up all the shit you need to heal. No, everybody brings up shit you need to heal. But the person you're going to be with around the most, whether it's your parents, whether it's your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your sister, your brother, whoever. And we're like, no. The person that brings up the most shit in you is the person that's made you to heal, and that's your twin flame. And we started dating. We started a serious relationship because it was on and off before that. But on 11/11/11, like 2011, it was 11 o'clock at night. It was 11/11, and we were having this talk, and we look at the time, we're like, it's November 11/11, and 2011, we're twin flames. We're meant to be. And we fucking took the twin flame shit for a couple of years. We took that. We were like, we have to be together. No matter what, we're going to do this. So we started doing twin flame meditation. But I just want, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the day that I stopped believing that he was my twin flame was the day he stopped being my twin flame. I'm going to repeat that. The day I stopped believing that he was my twin flame, he stopped being my twin flame. I have not seen or heard him or nothing in years. I don't know if he's remarried, if he has, I don't know anything. He doesn't, there is no connection. And I am with a person right now who, if twin flames exist, I hope he's the one. But I don't believe that we are one. I believe all humans come from one consciousness. We are all from one big energy consciousness, and we're all little extensions of consciousness. There's no one that divides in two and now you have to miss that. No, you are not born with me in the same thing unless we're twins, literally twins. There's not like one. It means that you are never full. You are never complete within yourself. You need somebody to make you complete. Otherwise, for the rest of your life, you're going to be upset. And you know the sadness I talked about on the beginning of the live, that deep sadness? Oh, that's the missing of your twin flame. No, it's not. No, it's not the missing of your twin flame. That's you just having a human experience and you're feeling the sad, the contrast of the sadness and the highs and the this and the lows. I have someone right now who loves me when I'm shitty. And I'm angry and I'm like, fuck this shit. And he loves me and I love him when he's not perfect. We love all of ourselves, like all of him, the good, the bad, the ugly, the this, that. We love each other. Isn't that nicer? Isn't that nicer? What kind of concept did we fucking create in the spiritual world? This spiritual twin flame concept that we are not full within ourselves. We are always half. So you will forever miss somebody because you will never be complete. You will never go through the enlightening unless you meet your twin flame. And some bullshit excuse that you're married and you're committed to someone and somebody comes in and you're like, that's my twin flame. Oh my God, they're my other half. Dude, you're fucking married. What are you doing? And it's because where attention goes, energy flows. Where your attention goes, energy flows. If your attention is on somebody and you believe they are your twin flame, your energy will completely connect with them. Because if you know about quantum physics, we are living in a unified field of energy. Emotion is energy in motion. So where attention goes, emotion goes, energy flows. So if you connect, Wilo, wink, wink. So if you are connected with someone, you can but if you are in a marriage or you are in a committed relationship and your attention goes somewhere else, you will connect with someone else. And especially if you believe they're your twin flame, you're like, oh shit, that's a belief. It's a belief that you have created. If you believe it to your core and you're like, Tanya, fuck you, Tanya. You don't know. I have a twin flame. Then that's fine. If that makes you happy. But I don't like the concept of twin flame. I don't like it because the concept of twin flame is you have to feel the pain and be with, dude, of course they want you to fucking believe that. You have to feel pain and be miserable and they're going to bring out all the shit that you have to heal and they're going to make you feel like a piece of shit and it's going to be very toxic. That's the person for you. Think about that. Why would they want people to be unhappy? They don't want, you are not complete within yourself. You are not complete within yourself. You need somebody else to make you complete. That is a fucked up concept. So here you are your whole life. Oh my God, I'm not complete. I'm not happy within myself. And we're like, oh my God, am I going to be alone for the rest of my life with 100 cats? No, my twin flame's out. And then your twin flame marries somebody else and then you're in pain. It's a reason to feel pain. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to feel peace. They want you to believe. And you know, when I say they, it's the people that want fear. They want fear controls. Whether it's fear of any kind, fear controls when you realized that you are complete within yourself. Twin flame is not the same as a soulmate. It's not the same. So the concept of a soulmate and you can have a lot of soulmates. So the concept of a soulmate is your soul recognizes their soul. Like, which I believe you guys are all my soulmates because we're all from one soul. There's one soul and we're all from one soul. We all share, we are different personalities of one massive energy center. There's an energy center and we're all different personalities. All of us. One person is like, hey, I'm a little louder. Somebody's like, I'm a little quieter. I'm like, I'm loud and quiet. Oh yeah, you do. And we all have these different, like, and I'm not going to go too much into it because I explain that in my book, and I want you guys to buy my book, so I don't want to go too much and tell you everything of my book, because in the conclusion, I kind of talk about that. But I just want you guys to know that it's okay that people bring up your shit, but doesn't mean that they're your twin flame. I've had a lot of people fucking bring up my shit, and guess what? Especially a narcissist will convince you that you're my twin flame. Narcissists can easily do that. They can use that. And you're like, oh my God, they made me heal. And then all of a sudden you're grateful for your twin flame, but you're missing them for the rest of your life. But the concept of a soulmate just means that it's somebody that you connect with on a soul level. That I believe. I'm like, there's a lot of soul mates in the world that you meet that you're like, I know you. We just kind of, our values, our souls kind of like in alignment in this present moment. Maybe in a year from now, maybe not, and whatever. But there's like some people that you look and you like, I know you. So I believe that's kind of a soulmate. But twin flame, I can't say the name of my book just yet because I can't. Because it's not like, once the name is like verified and checked, that's when I'll tell you guys the name. The actress Megan Fox came up with Machine Gun Kelly saying it was her twin flame and split. Yeah, a lot of people say twin flame. Twin flame is someone that starts your awakening. That's why my aunt said, you're my twin flame. Like, we started each other's awakening. So is my daughter my twin flame? Because my daughter technically, like, we choose who starts our awakening. So I don't mean to say BS, but I call BS on that. Because who really starts your awakening? Is it them or is it you? Is it a person that started your awakening? Because they fucked you up so much, they started your awakening. And you see how they say it's the male version of you? This is where okay, I'm not going to get into the whole gender stuff because I'm not going to talk about gender and all that. But what about people who are born with both genders? Let even forget the whole transgender. Okay, because I know some people are going to get real triggered on that. But what if people who are born with both genders? Do you know I know 2 people that are born with both? They don't have a twin flame. Are they themselves their own twin flame? It fucking doesn't make sense. I totally disagree with twin flame. That is one thing that you, Ivana, as much as you can write stuff, I will not believe it because I believed it. It's like, to me, the concept of, the religious Catholic Church, I believed it when I was young, and then I stopped believing it, and I was like, ugh, I don't really like that concept for me. I don't like that you have to judge. Like, if you're gay, I judge you. If you're gay is wrong. Like, no, fuck that. I don't like that. So that's not for me. So the same thing is, I used to believe in the twin flame. I even believed that I had one, and then I stopped believing it, and then I don't have one now, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I have to tell you, I feel so, when I stopped believing the twin flame concept, within a few months, I found my twin flame. And her name is Tanya. It's me. I am my own twin flame. And I feel so complete within me. I feel complete. I feel it when I meditate. I feel it on a day-to-day basis. This guy, and I stand and I look at him and I sit outside and I see all the squirrels and I'm like, I am so connected to the tree. Maybe the tree's my twin flame. Like, I am like, I love you. I hug it. I am my own twin flame. I feel so complete within me. I feel so centered. And it's not somebody else that is going to make me feel. I don't believe that concept. That's just what I feel. These are my beliefs, right? These are just beliefs that I have. But remember, nobody on earth will have the same belief as us. There's going to maybe be a few of you guys that are like, yeah, I agree. And then some of you guys are going, Tanya's a fucking, she just doesn't know. It's okay. Tanya just doesn't know. It's okay. It's her journey. Some of you guys are judging me, but some people are like me and saying Tanya doesn't believe it. Believe what you want to believe. Some of it, the concept of what I'm saying is that nobody on earth believes the same shit. Even if me and you have the same spiritual beliefs, like same, we're still going to, yeah, but you believe it? No, I kind of believe this. Look, I believe the extraterrestrials. I believe that there are not extraterrestrials. I believe there's being inside in the middle of the earth. Judge me if you want. I believe it. I believe that there's a whole other thing. Something's going on inside the earth because there's ships that we see going in the water. It's just a belief I have. You guys can look at me and go, and you guys can look at me, whatever. I do believe that there's external these beings around. I have all sorts of beliefs, and there's some people that are going to look at me and go, oh my god, me too, Tanya, we have the same beliefs. But then somebody else may be on the same journey like me, and then I'm like, and they both believe in twin flames, and I'm like, oh, I don't. So nobody has on earth, none of us have the same beliefs. Why the fuck are we fighting about our beliefs? Twin flames are real, Tanya. Jesus did save everybody and he's coming back, Tanya. There's one God and he's like this and then it is Tanya. No, Shiva is real and he is the God. Like, no, this is like, why are we fighting about what we believe? Because what if all of us are right? All of us are right. What if every single one of us is right? And all of us are wrong? How the fuck do we know? And I find it so funny when I see people and they're like, I know. And I'm like, do you though? Yes, but do you? And they hate when I say that. Thanks, Dylan. But do you? I'm like, but really, do you? Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, but do you? Nobody knows. None of us know. And I'll tell you guys something. I am super into spirituality. Okay? For those who've followed me and are pretty regular, you know how fucking deep I'm like aliens and this and how we can connect. C5 meditation. Like I'm into that. But I follow someone and his name is Spidey Behavioral Arts, Spidey Hypnosis. And he does not believe in spirituality. And he is my number one favorite YouTuber. If you guys are not following him, I will show you his face. He is my favorite. Behavioral Arts. He's on Netflix. The Behavioral Arts. He is a mentalist. Thanks, Annie. He's a mentalist. And he studies the art of manipulation and persuasion and scamming and this. And he says that what you think is like, let's say you're doing this and you have a paper that's floating and you go like this and you're moving the energy of the paper, you're actually moving it with your breath and you think that you're moving it, but your breath is making the paper move and you don't realize that you're doing that. So it's technically not. He doesn't believe in the spiritual thing. Now, I've meditated and I've seen some shit, so I believe spiritual stuff. But I'm like, what if my beliefs are all in my fucking brain? What if all of this is kind of some like physics explanation? What if everything that I believe has a physics explanation to it and it's all like some science shit? So I believe that I see like I've seen extraterrestrials in my meditation. I have felt it. I've felt movements. What if it was my brain? What if my brain was going, what you believe is what you're going to see. So I'm seeing and I'm like, damn it. I don't know. And you know what's funny? What if everything in the Bible is real? I hope not. I hope not, because there's some really fucked up things in there of like, what is it? What is that verse there when the guy has to offer his daughters? He gives his daughters, he sells his daughters to prostitute. Like, you know, I'm like, I hope not. But what if it is? So I'm sitting there going, I like not knowing. And some people don't like it. Some people don't like not knowing. So some people are far on one side saying, no, science is the only thing. But science evolves, by the way. Science is always changing, because not just like 50 years ago, we thought that atoms had a dense matter. And now we know there's protons, neutrons, nucleus, and there's like energy in the middle of an atom, which we're all made of. So science evolves. We know that. But some people only believe the science that is the fact in the moment. So whatever science is real now is what they believe. They don't believe in the maybe science. They believe in what is that. Then other people believe in the word of God. The word of God, that's it. God and Jesus and this is what that, and they are convinced, and they're like, science, no. God will over trump science. But then there's people like me, and I'm sure some of you guys, who are like not just there and there. We're like there. We're like, because my boyfriend practices Hinduism, and there's like full of gods. And I was like, what if that's true? What if that's real? Ganesha? With all the arm? I was like, what if it's real? What if they were aliens? And I told my boyfriend that. He's like, could be. I was like, what if they were actual aliens? And then people saw them and everything. Thank you, Michelle. So I'm like, what if? And then people believe, they're like, no. What I believe is true. So just a comment, like Moses says, it's not. That, I'm not in the it's not and it is. I'm not in that category. I'm like, maybe. And then like some people will say, like he says, God showed me many secrets. So I get that too. Thank you, Dylan. So in my meditations, I'll tell you guys, I've asked questions and answers, and in my meditation, it was a knowing, like I got like a download or whatever you want to call it, or a channeled or whatever. There's a few that I have never read about. And self-projection, the reason I'm writing the book is because I have read a couple of things about it, but I've gotten answers in my meditations. And some people think it's the word of God. Some people believe it's channeling. Some people believe it's the Akashic records. Some people believe everything, right? So I'm sitting there and I go, whoa, and I got this fucking knowing. And I went, holy shit. But what if we all knew it? What if it's just a remembering? And some people are like, no, it's from God. Like Moses clearly believes that it's from God. But I'm like, I don't believe it's from God. I believe it was an actual source energy, a big energy with all the information. And we all have it, but we can go and tap in and remember it. But we have to take the time. It's like, if you want to go find out information, remember back in the day, you have to go to the library. Actually, we still have a library, not far. And you have to walk through the rain and through the snowstorms, like your grandparents, like you had to walk 5 miles, and then you have to go, okay, I want this book. And then you have to go and open up the book. I feel that's like, you have to take your time to go, take the bus, go all the way downtown, and you got to go find out. I feel that it's the same for us. Like when we do sit there in quietness and you can connect, but some people believe that it's God. Some people believe, now my ex used to believe that with the book of Enoch, he was all like, oh, the book of Enoch with the giant. I know all that stuff. I've heard all of the things. But what if it's not true? What if it isn't? And I'm okay with saying maybe. I'm okay with saying maybe. But some people are not okay with it. And that's why fear is very powerful, because maybe living in the gray area is so fucking scary. Some people are like, no, it's God. I know for sure, for a fact it's God. And then some people are like, no, it's science for sure, because it's scary to be in the maybe. Thank you, badass. It's fucking scary. Thank you, Dylan. It is fucking scary to go, I don't know. I've lived science. I believe in science. I do believe in this. I do believe in this. I do believe in that. And I believe in this. But it's fucking scary to live in the middle. So, okay, that's enough now. That's enough. Let's mute. That's enough, right? It's enough. The world is ending. That's when I mute. All right. Calm down. Do you know what I mean? No, Moses, this is fear. He's like, I don't live in fear. The world is ending. Okay, but you can lose your mind. Exactly, Ellie. So funny is that, so my boyfriend and I had this conversation, and I would like to hear your view on this. I don't mean, this is not a fear tactic. It's not to scare you. It's, what would you do if we knew the world was ending in January? Like, a lot of people are saying that, right? Apparently the world was supposed to end last year, and then the world is supposed to end this year. And then, do you guys remember in 2011 when the world was supposed to end? And then the world was supposed to end again. Hold on, it was 2000. There was another one, and we're, oh, the world's ending. Like, there's always a world ending. It's, so far, it hasn't ended in a while, but like everybody, right? So that's like a fear thing. But what would you do if you knew like you had till January? Okay, or not even. Let's even throw this out there. If we had like yet tomorrow, you have one day, and tomorrow the world is ending. So I asked my boyfriend and my daughter and his daughter, and we were sitting together through COVID, because COVID's like, oh, the world's ending, you know? So we're like, what would you do? What would you do? And he's like, I would try to like save you guys and find like a bunker and go into the center of the earth. Like, we'd find it. Like, that was my boyfriend. And then like everybody had different questions. I'll tell you what I would do, but I want to hear what you guys would do. I would keep feeding and praying for cats and dogs. I would spend time with my loved ones, make a few calls, do the norm. If the world was ending, I would want, to spend every last moment with my kids and my family. I would surrender. I would have a lot of wink, wink. I don't want to think of the world as ending. Okay. But it's just, I'm just asking you. Obviously, the world's not ending tomorrow. Just because we say it, it's not going to end tomorrow. Thank you, Christine. I'd tell everyone I love them. I would enjoy living. Do you know what's funny? I want you guys to keep looking. Gather all my children together. Do you know not one of you guys said anything about money? None of you guys said anything so far about money. Nobody said that. Okay. And what I would do is I would make sure I was with my daughter and make sure that I was with the people closest. I would maybe even go live. So make sure that all of you guys, and we could do this together. I would, because I care about you guys. I know it sounds like, and I care about the people who are like, and they're like, oh shit, because I know some people would go crazy. I think I would make sure I was in a safe space, because I think a lot of people around would go fucking nuts. So I thought about this, and I went, money would mean nothing, and I would make sure to enjoy the most I can to make people feel loved. Whoever I was around, to feel like you guys are loved. And then in the last hour of it, like, or maybe half hour, I would meditate. So when it did happen, that I was at peace within myself. And some people will fight to the death and like, the world is ending, and the world is ending, and the government's trying, and they're trying to take your kids, and they're trying to do this, and people are so freaked out about, oh my God, and the government, and this, and the banks, and the new world, like all that. And I was like, but if it did, like, we would try to be with each other, right? I'm telling you, I would go live. I would put some nice music on, and whoever wanted to jump on the live, and you guys could set it up too, and I could join your family. We could have a little bunch of people lives all together, and we'd just be chatting and have a nice meal together and be like going in peace. So when you are so scared of what the world is doing and the government and and if you are caught up in that, just keep thinking, what if it did? It's not going to. Just telling you guys, it's not going to. But what if it did? Then what would you do? Would you spend your last moments going, the world is ending, and then fuck up everything and just tell people? You knock on people's doors, you know the world is ending, because that's what people come and do on my live. Did you know that the world is ending? And what is it? The apocalypse and the this, and then I'm like, the world's not ending. The world the world was ending 100 times, okay? This is why my family ended up being in a cult. I have a big chunk of my family that went into a cult because they thought it's called anarchy. Exactly. But I would be like, listen, make sure that we could maybe boarded up some of the walls so like people don't come in like, ah, you know, like psychos there. But I would make sure that I was just with the people that I love most. And I know this is going to sound fucked up, guys. Do you know? Yeah, like Y2K. So do you know that I think about that every day? What I'm telling you guys today, this is the first and only live I'm telling this, but I think about this multiple times a day. And this is why I stand up for myself now, and I set some healthy boundaries, and I let go of a lot of pain, of anger that I have a lot, and I live in peace every day, knowing that it could always be my last day. This could always be. And can I tell you guys? So this is two things that happened. I went live and Deepak Chopra jumped on one of my lives, and I didn't tell you guys, okay? And I saw it. So I don't know if you guys see, but when somebody comes on my live that either has a check mark on anything, it appears on my screen. I don't know if it appears for you guys, but I saw it. My heart went, I went like, Deepak Chopra's on my fucking, is Deepak Chopra listening to me talk? And I kind of went like, so I went, and then my head went, we could all die. I know it sounds fucked up. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to trigger people. And I just was like, we're all the same. I'm just going, oh my God, Deepak Chopra, because I kind of put him on a semi-pedestal because I've read so many books about him. Thank you, Dylan. I've read so many books. So there was a feeling in me of nervousness of like, oh fuck, he's on my fucking, and then I went, we're all gonna die. Like, I know it sounds fucked up, but it brings me peace. Now, some people it doesn't. So I'm sorry if I'm triggering you, because some people it does not bring them peace. Some people, they're like, we can die. And then they're scared. And I used to be scared of death. I used to be. But I'm not. Because I'm not scared of death, I'm like, I got to live every moment like it's my last day or it's in my last few hours. Do you know what I mean? And it brings me peace. It brings me peace with my family because I leave every interaction with people as much as I can. Okay, hold on. Tanya, that's not true. Hold on. I'm calling myself out. Okay, hold on. Take it easy, Tanya. I don't leave all interactions like, no. Okay, so let's calm down here. I just want to let you know, most of the time, as much as I can. And if I don't leave the interaction feeling somewhat like, okay, then I feel guilt and I'm like, okay, maybe I gotta be a little bit nicer, and then I'll apologize if I said something wrong, or I'll do stuff like that. So let's just, okay. Hi, Nina, how are you? So yeah, just want to clear that up. But I try my best to live like that. And I've been living like that for a while now. And that's why when, like, and I don't want to tell everybody that who I've met, because there's a lot of people that don't like that family right now because they were violent. You know, that family that was the big slap of the year. So I met the family. I know some people are like, who cares about them and narcissists, da. But I had to like I was like, and then I was like, we could all die. Like, I know it sounds fucked up, but it makes me feel comfortable. When I feel like that, I'm like, everybody's human. Or I picture people on toilets. I picture people on the toilet taking a big dump. I'm like, if I get intimidated by anybody and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just imagine them like, and I'm like, we all do it. So who are you? You're like, oh my God, you know, they're like famous or they're this. I'm like, yeah, but picture them on the toilet, like constipated or something, or not, like when they're not feeling good. Then you kind of like, they don't feel so like intimidating anymore. I'm telling you, try it. Next time you're in a setting where you're either with your boss or somebody that you put like a little bit on a pedestal, you're like, oh, they have more money than me, they have more this, that. Picture them sitting in their very expensive, very fancy bathroom, going like, pushing it out, farting, and you're gonna go like, meh. It's not gonna bother you so much. Try it out. I'm telling you. And then you can go make videos on TikTok. It'll work because you realize that we're all just freaking human. All of us. My mom would say, if you want to think differently, think of them pooping. There you go. So we have the same thoughts. Your mom and I have the same thoughts. Yes, Star. I believe, yeah, I agree with all that. So anyways, you know what's funny? I was more intimidating meeting Stephen Greer than other people. And if ever you guys see the video where I'm like, hi, Stephen. Hi, Dr. Greer. I was so awkward. You know why I was more intimidated to talk to Stephen Greer than I was to talk to the Smith family or Bruce Lipton or who else did I meet? Or Deepak Chopra or whatever. It's because I was like, he talks to aliens. Now I'm laughing because I'm like, dude has connection with aliens. Like, I'm intimidated. He, you know what I mean? He has pictures. He has like full thousands of videos and pictures. I know it sounds totally nuts. I'm supposed to meet Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton face to face. I'm supposed to meet them in January, but I don't think I can. And I'm a little bit disappointed. So Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton are going to be at Gaia, and I'm supposed to go, because for those who don't know that I work with Gaia, and I'm supposed to go in January, but my book is like, it's like I'm getting the editing done in January, and everything is happening then, and that's my focus right now. So although I'm excited, I'm like, I don't know if it's meant. I don't know if it's in alignment. So I'm kind of like, I didn't book a flight yet to Colorado. I haven't booked anything yet. I was just like, we'll see. We'll see. But right now my focus is to get my book out. I'm really excited. And I'm really nervous. I won't lie, guys. I get really nervous about my book. I'm like, imagine like 4 people buy my book. I thought about it. So I weigh out the pros and cons. I'm like, let's say 4 people buy my book, like 4. At least I could say I'm an author. That's like the positive. I always try to find the light in this freaked out. I was like, okay, and it's okay. At least I wrote a book. At least maybe in like 30 years from now, somebody will look at the book and go, hey, I like the book. Like, who cares? Okay, whatever. At least I did it. I could say I did it. Thank you, Angie. So I'm nervous. But then when I start writing the book, I'm like, oh my God, I love this book. I hope it does well. So there's a part of me that's really excited, but another part of me is like, man, who knows? But then again, as I've been talking about on this whole live, is I may die tomorrow. Like, I'm going to do my best to be as kind as I can. Exactly, Tiffany. I'm gonna. Wait, hold on. Let's switch that. Not I'm gonna. It's I may. I may. There's a possibility. Not I'm gonna. Like, don't predict that. Thank you, Rania. I can see you going on interviews about your book. I'd be very comfortable because every time. Now, I want you guys to know, for those of you who stayed on this live during this time, you guys are gonna laugh. Okay. So if ever I go on an interview and you guys see it, I want you to know that while I'm sitting there, and you guys see it. So one day you see the interview, look at me and see that in my brain, I'm thinking about them taking a poop. I'm doing it. So if you see my face and I look at the camera or something, you guys are going to go, ah! So that's in between you and I. So the only people on this live, you guys are going to know, are going to be like, Tanya's imagining them right now taking a shit. So while they're interviewing me and you see me going, this is what's going to happen. I'll tell you guys, you'll see my eyes, okay? So I'll show you how my eyes work. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because my friend saw those eyes in my podcast. So I did a podcast recently with like a multi-millionaire. Okay. No idea he had that money, but I was nervous because they were like, oh, the business and money and business and money. And I'm like, I don't like talking about business money stuff. I like talking about mental health and spiritual stuff. But, you know, it was the podcast, so we talked about it. So you see me at the beginning of the podcast, I'm like, you see I'm nervous. And then at one point you see this, like, I'm like standing like this and I'm like, yeah, oh, that's that. And I'm trying to like appear in a certain way. And then I had two thoughts. I was sitting actually right there for the podcast. And my first thought was, I looked at the tree and I was like, we're all connected to nature. We're all like, what am I stressed about right now? I could die tomorrow. Like, I was like, who knows? But yes, exactly, Mark. It was legendary marketers. So I went, and then I looked at him and I was like, and he was leaning forward like this. And I was like, that's probably what he looks like when he takes a poop. And I went like this. And all of a sudden, my friend, you caught the look while my friend looked at me and she's like, you did it, huh? I was like, I did it. So every time she's like, I could tell the exact moment where you got comfortable. And if you see me in an interview ever, and you see me like, and then as soon as I kind of went, it's because I picture them taking a shit. So you guys will know. You guys are going to be like, oh shit. Literally, oh shit. Okay, love you guys. I had a great chat with you. I love you, love you, love you. And don't take life so seriously. And I don't know how to end this. Okay, I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys on Monday.